reached out to frequency, vibration, and energy.
Be of value to somebody so they can integrate what they've been through so people can change their lives.
Because I'm not playing the game.
Yes.
Not just say I am love, but really show it.
Disconnection from the I am presence, which is the spirit within. So that's the reason for these podcasts.
And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Lava Light podcast. We're here just to demonstrate the mighty I am presence inside of us. And today I'm here with a very special guy. I'm honored to have this gentleman here, just to share his wisdom and knowledge with you today. So we have Mr. Samuel Jennings here. Now, Samuel is a spiritual and well-being coach for over 26 years. And this gentleman, his purpose in life, what he does, he really helps people to connect with their passion. He helps people to remember who they are, what they are, and where they are going. He helps you to find your passion, right? So our intention with this podcast is to really demonstrate and to show people how to bridge the gap between their belief and the mind, body, spirit connection. Yeah, we're going to bring coherence between the brain and the heart, because that's what we're missing in this world, right? So first things first, what I want to say is that I've been on a very important journey over the last few years. And just to tell you a brief little synopsis of what happened, I actually undergo a very deep and transformational experience. You know, I actually went under a series of challenges, and I actually had something you call ayahuasca. I don't know if you ever heard of that. But what it is, I came face to face with the challenges that I had within me. And it allowed me to really come face to face with these, because oftentimes, you know, we cover up the things inside of us by using external things, right? So just to tell you, I had to come face to face with this. And the only way I was able to get through this challenge, one of the most difficult things I've ever done in my life. And how was it really able to get through this is to go within, to really find the I am presence by really connecting with that and really being honest. You know, they said God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. I had to look at the truth of the things I'm hiding from within. And, you know, coming back, I met this gentleman who really has been studying the I am presence for more than 26 years. I know we're collaborating, and it's my honor to bring to you Samuel Jennings. Welcome, Samuel.
David, it's such an honor to be here, and I want to thank you for the opportunity. But I want to thank our respective I am presence for bringing us together, because, you know, quite often I say, who's writing the script? And who's writing the script is really spirit. So our respective I am presence, which is another name for our respective spirits, within us, deep within us, brought us together at this most incredibly crucial time in the development, should I say, or should I say the remembering of who and what we are, and indeed why we're on the planet. The human species individually and collectively is going through unprecedented times. And the main reason why you and I have been brought together is to show people, demonstrate to people who are ready to take this journey from the head to the heart.
Yes.
And as you can see, this is deliberate, by the way, where you can see my head and directly the heart above is bringing the head and the heart together in coherence, but not just bringing the head and the heart together, bringing the ego and the soul together, the mind
Yes.
and the spirit, where the body is in a state of ease at all times, as opposed to emotional and mental and physical disease. And the reason why there's so much emotional and mental disease and physical disease, I feel, is because of disconnection from the I am presence, which is the spirit within. So that's the reason for these podcasts, and I'm honored and privileged that Dave has given yours truly the opportunity to do so.
Absolutely.
But I want to thank the I am presence for bringing us together,
Yes.
because none of this would be happening if it weren't for a respective I am presence, where Dave is connected with his true self, I connected with my true self, i.e., the I am presence within us, both, and here we are. So, who's writing the script? Over to you, Dave.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I thank you so much for that. Just elucidating really just the process of really finding the I am presence and the importance of people to connect to that, and just
Yeah.
sort of diving into just to connecting to that. I suspect even before we start diving into some of the challenges that ourselves and other people might be going through, I think it's worth maybe just preparing our mind and our hearts for this message.
Absolutely.
Is there anything you think we can do to to ready the audience and ourselves just to receive this information?
Yes, indeed, David. Absolutely. I'm going to share and demonstrate right now, and each and every one of the podcasts going forward, we will be practicing this very simple breathwork exercise and mantra. This was given to yours truly 26 years ago by one of my mentors, who, through the use of relaxation and this mantra and meditation exercise, very short, it's only 30 to 60 seconds, he was able to control um, not only his mind, but his body that was in supposedly failing health for many years. Well, I think about, from what I understand, about 7 years, leukemia. But he was able to control that. And this gentleman was in his 70s when I met him, and his mission was to share this that I'm about to share with
Amazing.
everybody.
Amazing.
So
Yes.
he was controlling, which is a critical illness, and he was controlling it with breath work, meditation, and this exercise that I'm about to share. So it's an honor and a privilege. His name was Wally Minto, and
Okay.
Wally Minto left the planet literally a few weeks after he had finished what he came to the planet to do, which was to share this with many thousands of people worldwide. Is anybody else sharing it? I don't know. Quite frankly, it doesn't matter. Am I
Absolutely.
sharing it?
That's
That's
right.
the point. I am sharing it.
Yes.
All right, so
Indeed.
here it is. So if we sit with our back fully supported, feet flat on the floor, hands resting comfortably in our lap, and taking a deep breath in through the nose. And I'll explain why that's important afterwards. Take a deep breath in through the nose, fully inhaling into the base of the lungs. Deep breath in through the nose. Hold for a few seconds, minimum 4, 5, 6 seconds, whatever we can. Hold. Feel the pressure in the abdomen and the lower ribcage. And release. And whilst we're releasing, repeat the words relax,
Relax.
relax,
Relax.
relax,
Relax.
relax, 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 relax. Deep breath in through the nose. Repeat the words I am, 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 I am. Deep breath in through the nose. Hold. Repeat the word within, 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 within. And then just go back to our normal, regular breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, or nose, whichever is comfortable. So already what we should be feeling is this stillness and serenity and peace and quietness within ourselves. So the true self, the real and true self, is not the head. It's in here. All the dis-ease, the mind not being at ease, is because the human mind in the adult state it has on average 60,000 thoughts per day. 30,000 thoughts in the past, 30,000 thoughts per day in the future, never being present. So people carrying memories and regrets or unforgiveness or PTSD, whatever. It's a past memory. Anxiety and worry and concern is a future imagination. So if we're in the past, we're carrying emotional stuff, which affects our presence. If we're in the future, we're carrying worries and anxiety, which affects
Absolutely.
our presence. And
Yes.
it's head stuff, folks. It's actually head, folks. I call it the diseased altered ego. It's the diseased mind and altered ego. So when the mind is in the right frame of mind and the ego is in the right state of itself, it's a very healthy thing. It's a very,
Yes.
very, very, very powerful thing.
Absolutely. Yes.
But it's a very destructive thing when it's diseased. It's very destructive to ourselves. It's very destructive to our bodies. It's very destructive to our entire being, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, and interpersonally. It's very destructive to our relationships. So we become either a controller or being controlled. And it's also affects us in our vocation and our financial wealth, everything. So that exercise, it only takes 30 to 60 seconds, brings us out of the head and brings us in here.
In the
But
present moment. Exactly.
being present, because I am is not past, I am is not future, I am is present. Now, the other thing as well, and this is very, very, very important. For those of us from a Christian background, we may have heard the words be still and
Yes.
know that
That
I am God.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
Now, another word for God's name is I am that I
I am.
am.
Absolutely.
So when we say relax, I am within, we're telling the body to relax. We're telling the mind to relax. The breath connects the body with the spirit because let's just play a little game here with the word respiratory. So let's repronounce that. Re-spirit our I. Re-spirit our I. So when we use the breath properly in through the nose, we've got a left nostril and a right nostril. My understanding is that the nostrils cross over to the other side of the brain. So the left nostril goes to the right brain, my understanding, left and the right nostril to the left brain. What that actually does is brings us out of the fear, fight, and flight mode, which is beta frequency, and balances the two hemispheres of the brain and brings us into what is known as the alpha frequency. Why is that important? Here's why it's important, David. When we were kids and we didn't have a care in the world, do we all remember that? Or if we don't remember that, do we know of children who you watch them and they're in a little world of their what? A world of their own. That's it. So when we're in the head, we're in a state of disease and we're in fight or flight mode. Let's use this exercise, the physical heart, the actual physical heart, which keeps us alive. You know, someone could be brain dead, but still be alive because their physical heart is beating. Why? Because this thing here is an electromagnetic output of 5,000 times more powerful than the brain. Would it be a good idea to use it, folks? Absolutely. So
Yes.
that exercise will bring us into head and heart coherence.
Yes.
And that's
Absolutely.
the key. That's the key.
Yeah.
So I wanted to share that with you, David, and everybody, because this is so powerful. This is absolutely so powerful.
It is indeed, yeah.
And it shows us not only how to bridge the head with the heart, but bridge the ego with the soul, bridge the me with the I am within. And the body goes into a state of ease. Why is that important? Well, I'll tell you why it's important nowadays. Because beliefs are of the head. The truth is within, and it's the truth that will set us free.
Absolutely. I mean, and that note, saying the truth will set us free. And I think that's what we're all looking for, really. What is the truth? And you know, the I am is so patient that it's so loving that it allows us to go down the wrong path because it knows we're gonna have to come back full circle, right? And I'm learning so much because looking at my own journey, I thought, I could help people by changing their life, by suggesting stuff to them and wrong way, this is the right way. But I realized that actually you have to allow people to be as they are. Listen, everyone is just trying to be as I am, right? And I promise you, like, even if you think someone is wrong, they think they're right. And you have to allow people to be. You said something to me when we met the first time. You said people will only ask for help when they are lost. So, unless someone is really, really have that humility and really want to change, allow them to be. You be the change, which is what I'm doing in my life now. Be the change, and they will come back to you when they're ready. So, I mean, no, I wish I knew this years ago. I would have saved myself so many stress and heartache. Now I allow, like, it's one of the most difficult thing to do. Looking at your mom, your family, you want the best for them. But you cannot force them to change. You cannot make them change. The change only starts from you, and then you reflect that by shining your light.
Here, here.
So, absolutely, Samuel. I mean, as I said, like, this series of podcasts we're doing, I'm just so excited, like, just to be doing this. I mean, this is really, I mean, I'm so passionate about this. You know what I mean? I'm so excited. And, Samuel, the way I like to operate, I like to not just hear the word, but I like to be a doer of the word. And that's not always easy. Even for myself, I'm still learning to become more a doer of the word. So what you've shared with us, is there anything you can sort of go deeper into on a practical level that, our audience can really see it and really tie it on a practical level? Is there anything you can share, like a diagram or something, just to show us on a visual? Because they said a picture says 1,000 words. So is there anything you can share just to allow them to go deeper and really understand that concept you've just shared?
Absolutely, and I would be thrilled and delighted to, because the words relax, I am within. That's all very good and very well. But just as David has said, as you said here, David, a picture speaks 1,000 words.
Absolutely.
So,
Yes.
Dr. Jan de Vries, some of you may have heard of Dr. Jan de Vries. He was a world renowned homeopath. And in his book, when in the middle of the early stages of my burnout, which was, by the way, 1990, I had 7.5 years of what is now known as ME, or chronic fatigue. So just came about through, I was a driven individual by my ego. And as a result, I effectively found myself running out of steam. I ran out of energy. So
Yes.
I was caused to read Jan de Vries's book, which has this diagram, and it's called the I am diagram. Okay. All right. So here's the I am diagram that I mentioned. And the I am diagram, now I want to give credit to Dr. Jan de Vries, and this is a version of this was in Dr. Jan de Vries's book. So, with permission from the de Vries family, Dr. Jan passed over about 8 years ago. So, I have been able to, with permission, to add to this to make it more easily understood and more easily
Right.
representative of the message, and in conjunction with the mantra and the breathing exercise, relax, I am within.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So what the I am within is essentially, you can call it God, you can call it Allah, you can call it Jehovah, you can call it Christ consciousness, you can call it the Tao. It's Am. And as Wayne Dyer, who I hadn't the privilege of meeting, what Wayne Dyer has a meditation called the meditation. So, whether it be God, or whether it be Allah, or whether it be Tao, or whether it be Krishna, the vibrational frequency is Am. So, when the words were said, a guy called Moses, he had the experience with a burning bush, that's according to the story, and he was asked to go and get my people. And he asked the question, whom shall I say sent me? I am
That
that
I am.
am sent you, for that shall be
Yes.
my name for all future generations.
Absolutely. Yes.
It,
That's right.
it always was, it always will be. And listen to the words. It always will be, because it always is. I am is not past. I am is not future. I am is present. If it was past, it would be called I was.
I
If
was
it
exactly.
if it's called future, it is called I will be or I want to be. So here we are in a world, that's completely and utterly taken up with past and future. Never being. Never being. This
Human being. Human being.
human being.
Not
So
human doing, right? Not
not a
human
human
doing.
doing, not a human having, not a human wasing, not a human wannabe, a human being. So here's in simplicity. When we were kids, we lived in a world of our own without a care in the world, because we were connected to our I am presence through the soul and the heart. And I call this here the spiritual being. So the I am through the soul and the heart, directing the mind and the body. What's that otherwise known as? Intuition, the tuition that comes from within here.
Internal tuition. Exactly. That's right. That's right.
Be still. So be still and know. What are we saying to be still? Still the mind, relax the body, and come inside. Return to the source. Now, this here is what keeps us all alive in very simple terms. When the spirit leaves the body dies. That's it in a nutshell. Could it be that when we take our first breath, now it's open to suggestion or open to possibility that maybe the spirit comes in at conception, but maybe it's activated in the physical body when we take our first breath, in breath. And then when the spirit leaves the planet,
Out breath.
the body takes its last breath. Well,
Absolutely.
what should we be doing between birth and death? Breathing properly. So the link between spirit, soul, heart, mind, and body, to ensure that we're connecting properly, is conscious breathing. Conscious breathing. Breathing.
Wow.
What do I mean by conscious breathing? I
Amazing.
mean breathing with consciousness. Breathing, every breath we take is the consciousness of the I am in, and then we're expressing the consciousness of the I am out. So consciousness in, consciousness out. Hence the word respiratory, or as I prefer to pronounce it, respirit, or I.
Can I just jump in there? It's you know what, I sat here quietly listening to you, and there's just so many thoughts and downloads I'm getting, because and this is something we're going to touch on further on into our podcast, just for the just for timing.
Yes.
But it's really interesting during COVID that the representation of having something over, and I know this can be controversial, but from what you're describing, the importance of breathing in and out, and the fact that you have something blocking that breathing, that respirating, as you said, respiratory, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to shoot in here on that.
Yeah.
It's fear. It's fear. Fear is, where is fear? Fear is here. So the breath is stopped. Proper breathing, conscious breathing, where full inhalation into the lungs. I mean, if we could maybe just ask those who are listening to feel where the rib cage actually is, the bottom of the rib cage. It's just sitting a few centimeters above the kidney cage.
That's right.
Well, the ribs are predominantly protecting our lungs. Well, why is it that most adult humans are only using the top 10 to 20% of their lungs? Because they're in fear. And where's the fear? The fear is in the diseased mind, in the altered ego. So fear is false evidence appearing real. It's appearing real. So what it actually does is puts the brain state into what is known as beta frequency. So it's roughly 13 cycles and above. And once we go over 40 cycles, which was my experience, I went into burnout. It's called fight or flight mode for too long. Fight or flight mode is fine if there's a wolf at the door, or if we need to get out of the way of an
There's a
oncoming.
tiger chasing you or something like back in the day,
Back in the day.
Neanderthal time,
Yes, or there's a
Yeah.
car. There's a car actually heading in the right direction. We need to jump out of the road. Yeah, but don't live in it, because when we live in it, it causes the mind to go into a state of disease. It causes it's emotional and mental disease. It's called known. This is a known term called worried sick. So prolonged worried sick leads people into a place of being sick in the physical. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
re-spiriting our eye through breathing properly is the first step. That's the first step. So if we want to come home to the truth that is within, that sets us free, we need to begin with relaxing the body through the breath and stilling the mind. Now, how do we still the mind? We tell the mind, I am within.
I
But
am within. Oh, so it's all linked back. All
absolutely,
come back full circle into what you're saying.
full circle, because the
Absolutely.
mind thinks it's the boss. The mind wants to
Yeah.
take control. It's actually the saboteur of the self. So it wants to take control of the I am, it wants to take control of the soul, wants to take control of the heart, and wants to take control of the body. It becomes a controller.
Yes.
So, and it loves control. So it either becomes a victim or it either becomes a narcissist or an excessive empath. And we're going to touch on that in a few minutes. But essentially, it's out of balance. So it's out of balance. So in order for the mind to become back into the right mind, the I am presence through the soul and the heart needs to take control of the mind, and the body goes into a state of ease and relaxation.
Wonderful.
That's
Beautiful, beautiful. I mean, that's so clear. And, with the aid of this diagram, I'm sure a lot of people could see the connection between what we're discussing here. And what I like about, just having this conversation with you is we can see how we could weave this into the tapestry of our own life, of our own experience. Because,
Absolutely.
growing up, most of what we've been told is that, we are given a blueprint as to this is where you go with your life. It's like a cookie cutter philosophy where you try to fit
Yeah.
into the into the mold that's been created for you.
The round
Yeah.
peg hammered into a square hole,
Absolutely. And the I am presence, it's like it's so patient.
Yes.
This is why the world is the way it is now, because people are gonna have to choose.
Absolutely.
Choose today whom ye shall serve. We're gonna have
Absolutely.
to decide. Like, listen,
Whether
are
it's
you gonna go
whether
down hate? Or are you gonna go down love? Like,
absolutely, I'm going to have
man.
to choose whether it's going to be their diseased mind, altered ego, or the I am
Well,
presence.
I
is
know
going-
we're a little bit pressed for time today, but we'll definitely come back to dive even deeper into this conversation.
Beautiful.
And
I look
with
forward
that
to that.
said, folks, we're gonna leave it right here for now. But thank you for joining us on this first edition of the Lava Light podcast with our guest here, Samuel Jennings, and we're gonna have a lot more of these. So my hope to you is for you to integrate this and to this is a call to action to not just be hearer of the word, but also doer of the word, right? And that's why we're growing together. So implement this in some way, some form, the best way possible, and let's take it. Any final words, Samuel, from yourself before we wrap things up?
Thank you, David. It's been an honor and a privilege to be capital letters, be here. But I just would like to say that the universe or God or source or spirit or Allah or whatever you wish to call it, it's the I am presence. And that I am presence will give the altered ego mind here enough, my father used to call it enough rope to hang itself. So it will give an opportunity to eventually come to the end of the road where it begins to realize that it is lost. And then, and only then, will it cry for help. And you know where the help actually is? The help is here. But it will only cry for help when it's had enough pain and suffering, as I did in my life between 1990
As
and
we all
98,
do.
as we all do.
Oh,
So
my word.
the inner self will give this false self. I call it the false ID entity. It's a false identity. It's a false ID entity that will need to be brought into subjection and brought into submission, if you like, to become one with the I am presence, the spirit within, the soul and the heart and the body, and everything comes into a state of ease.
Beautiful.
So, just to, on this, finish with this point, please, folks, practice the relax I am within. Remember, just a quick recap, it's a deep breath in through the nose, hold for a minimum of 4 seconds, repeat the words, relax, relax, relax. Another breath in through the nose, hold for 4 seconds, repeat the words I am, I am, I am. Another breath in through the nose, hold for a minimum of 4 seconds, within, within, within. And that will take us out of a state of past and future here and bring us into presence. And practicing that throughout the day will help keep us in a place of beingness where the being takes over the running of our lives, the mind and the body at one with the spirit, the soul, heart, mind, and body. David, I want to
Beautiful.
thank you. I want to thank you for this opportunity. It's been great, and I really look forward to taking this on further and having this. By the way, I should just say, if people actually wish to send us questions, would be delighted to take those questions and have them be part of future podcasts. Thank you very much, David. It's been an honor and a privilege.
It's been absolutely an honor to have you on, Samuel, and we look forward to do a number of series of these, because that was explained so succinctly and eloquently. Even a 5-year-old, I think, could really understand that. Be still and know that I am, right? But
Absolutely.
again, because we have so many distractions around us, we allow those to tax our dopamine, and for that to sort of be our distraction. But as we all know, we're all going to have to come full circle back to the I am, back to being still. I know that the power is within you no matter what. So on that note, folks, thank you for joining us on this episode, and be blessed, be well. And Samuel, I'll have you on again. All the best, my friend. Stay well, stay blessed.
Thank you.
Peace.